keeping you informed. This is Katy Country 94 and Z96.3 News.
Governor Laura Kelly flexed a veto pen to reject bills Friday prohibiting gender identity health care for transgender youth, introducing a vague crime of coercing someone to have an abortion, and implementing a broader survey of women seeking abortion that was certain to trigger veto override attempts in the Republican-led House and Senate. The decisions by the Democratic governor to use her authority to reject these health and abortion rights bills didn't come as a surprise, given her previous opposition to lawmakers intervening in personal decisions that she believed ought to remain the domain of families and physicians. Kelly said Senate Bill 233, which would ban gender-affirming care for transgender minors in Kansas, was an unwarranted attack on a small number of Kansans under 18. She said the bill was based on a politically distorted belief the legislature knew better than parents how to raise their children. She said it was neither a conservative nor Kansas value to block medical professionals from performing surgery or prescribing puberty blockers for their patients. She said stripping doctors of their licenses for serving health interest of patients was wrong. Under the bill, offending physicians could be facing lawsuits, and their professional liability insurance couldn't be relied on to defend themselves in court. To be clear, this legislation tramples parental rights, Kelly said. The last place that I would want to be as a politician is between a parent and a child who needed medical care of any kind, and yet that is exactly what this legislation does. Senate President Ty Masterson and House Speaker Dan Hawkins responded to the governor by denouncing the vetoes and pledging to seek overrides. When legislators returned to the Capitol on April 26th, the transgender bill was passed 27-13 in the Senate, 82-39 in the House, suggesting both chambers were in striking distance of a two-thirds majority necessary to thwart the governor. The governor has made it clear yet again that the radical left controls her veto pen. Masterson said this devotion to extremism will not stand, and we look forward to overriding her vetoes when we return in 2 weeks. Catherine Oakley, senior director of the Human Rights Campaign, said the ban on crucial medically necessary health care for transgender youth was discriminatory, designed to spread dangerous misinformation, and timed to rile up anti-LGBTQ plus activists. Every credible medical organization representing over 1.3 million doctors in the United States calls for age-appropriate, gender-affirming care for transgender and non-binary people, Oakley said. This is why majorities of Americans oppose criminalizing or banning gender-affirming care. For more on that story, go to our website, katycountry94.com. Today's community calendar is brought to you by Heart Choices Pregnancy and Parenting Resource Center, offering free pregnancy tests, pregnancy counseling, and parenting classes at 6th Independence and Beloit and their satellite locations in Concordia, Osborne, and Smith Center. You can call 738-3433 for an appointment or check them out at their website, heartchoicesbeloit.com. Enjoy breakfast on Sunday at VFW Hall, Post 6242, 102 East South Street in Beloit. That'll be this Sunday, April 21st, serving breakfast from 8 to 1. Menu includes waffles, sausage patties, ham, scrambled eggs, hash browns, biscuits and gravy, fresh fruit, coffee, and juice. Due to increased cost of food, a $10 minimum donation per person, $5 children 12 and under. Donations go towards the purchase of food and supports local scholarships. That's the news this hour. For the latest local news information, visit our website 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, katycountry94.com. And don't forget to download the free Katy Country 94 app on your smartphone.
Your number one source for local sports in north central Kansas. This is Katy Country 94 and Z96.3 Sports.
He was here the whole time. His stardom confirmed.
Jim Nance, speaking of Scotty Scheffler, who wrapped up his second Masters Championship on Sunday. We'll have more on that coming up in the Sportscast. We also look at local sports, some results from activities over the weekend. We'll look at today's high school sports schedule. The Kansas City Royals finishing out a 3-game set with the Mets on Sunday, and the NBA playoffs are set. It's all coming up in the Sportscast on Katy Country 94 and Z96.3 The Lake. High school softball over the weekend. Beloit was at the Sunflower League Festival in the Kansas City metro area. They went 1-2 on the weekend, and they're now 8-3 overall. Friday, losing to Gardner Edgerton 10-0 in 5 innings. Saturday, they lost to Shawnee Mission Northwest in their first game 15-8. Came back to win over Olathe East in game 2, 7-5. Also in baseball Friday, Concordia and Beloit splitting their games. Beloit Concordia taking game 1, 4-1. Beloit won the second 4-2. Trojans now 6-4 on the season. Concordia dropping to 3-7. Beloit will be back on the field today at Ellen Ellenwood with a doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Also in track and field on Friday, the Hill City Invitational for some area teams. The girls' gold medal winners from the area in the 1,600-meter run. Madison Howland of Smith Center. She also took first place in the 3,200. Individual gold medal winners on the boys' side. Mason Baker of Thunder Ridge in the 400 and Gavin Hickert from Smith Center in the 3,200. You can find the full results at ncksports.com. There are also a couple of basketball all-star games over the weekend. On Sunday at the Cloud County Thunderbird All-Star Games at Arleigh Bryant Gymnasium in Concordia. The girls' game was a runaway for the black team, coached by Brian Ebert of Frankfort with 86-43. For the gold team, coached by Trey Coleman of Concordia. Area athletes that competed, Cam Ritzke had the top scoring number for Thunder Ridge. He had 11 points for the winning black squad. Aubrey Gingler had 9 from St. John's Tipton. Jenna Gingler 8. And Dakota Kattenberg of Smith Center scored 7. Carly Colgren of Concordia scored 10 for the gold squad. Peyton Remus of Beloit played and scored 4 points as well. In the boys' contest, the gold team, led by Curtis Pickering of Bennington, won 76-71 over the black squad, coached by Justin Steinbrock from Concordia. All of our area athletes were on the black team as Bryce Beisner led the way from Beloit. He had 17 points. Also from the area, Joey Henderson of Concordia had 9. Peyton Brees of Concordia 7. Quinn Eilert of Beloit had 6, and Jonathan Turner of Concordia scored 4. You can find those box scores and results at ncksports.com. Saturday, 3 Osborne players and Bulldog coach Jason Wilson participated in the Western Kansas All-Star Games in Colby. In the girls' game, Gracie Reiner scored 33 points to lead her team to an 89-29 win. In the boys' contest, Johnny Hamel of Osborne scored 30 points. Aiden Conrad of the Bulldogs also played. Their team fell 93-79. Coach Wilson, the head coach for both squads, featuring Osborne All-Stars on Saturday. High school sports today. Again, we mentioned Beloit at Ellenwood in baseball. There's also golf going on today. The Republic County Invitational at 11 o'clock this morning. Beloit, Concordia, and Smith Center competing from the area. Also the Plainville Invitational at 3 o'clock this afternoon with Osborne competing from the area.
2-1 New York, 9th inning. And Vermeer popped it up. Alonzo tracking it. He's calling, and he makes the catch, and the ball game is over.
After playing to a scoreless draw through 7.5 innings, the Royals and Chris Stratton gave up 2 runs on 4 walks and an infield single in the bottom of the 8th in that 2-1 loss. Cole Reagans had another quality start for the Royals, pitching 6 scoreless innings with 8 strikeouts, but he couldn't get the run support in another no decision. Stratton took the loss, dropping to 1-1 after giving up the 2 runs. Benny Pasquantino hit a solo homer in the top of the 9th, but that was all the Royals offense could muster on the day. Mets starter Jose Buto also got a no decision, but allowed just 2 hits and 6 scoreless innings, as Royals manager Matt Quatrero was impressed.
Early on, it was the changeup. That was a unique pitch. And then later, he mixed it up a little bit more, landed some sliders and elevated the fastball. But that's the first time we've seen him, and he was tough. He mixed it up well.
After losing 2 of the 3 against the Mets, the Royals are now 10-6. They're on Chicago to start a 3-game series with the 2-13 White Sox. Seth Lugo, 2-0 with a 1.45 ERA, will start for the Royals today against Eric Fetty of the White Sox. First pitch at 6:40 this evening. Royals will likely be without Salvador Perez, who suffered what is preliminarily being called a groin strain when he covered the plate to finish an inning double play in the 4th. Perez will be further evaluated today. That's sort of the beginning of the Sportscast. After entering Sunday's final round of the Masters in a 3-way tie, Scotty Scheffler ran away from the pack on the back 9, finishing with a 4-under 88 on the day, 11 under for the tournament, 4 strokes ahead of second place. It was just the second major win of Scheffler's career, but both have come at the Masters as he won the green jacket in 2022 as well. Scheffler on his second Masters win and what turned the momentum for him into the back 9.
It's hard to put into words how special this is. It's been a long week, a grind of a week. The golf course was so challenging, and to be sitting here wearing this jacket again and getting to take it home is extremely special. The best momentum turner that I had today was the birdie putt on 8. I had 2 really good shots in there long of the green. I had an extremely difficult pitch that I hit up there about 10, 12 feet from the cup, and it was a challenging read because it turned early and it was really straight at the end. So it was a putt that you really had to start on line and hope it held its line. And I poured that one in, and then kind of gave me some good momentum, and I used that to birdie 9 and 10 and keep pushing because I knew there was birdies out there on the back 9. I had a lot of really talented players trying to chase me down, and I knew pars weren't going to get it done.
The 27-year-old Scheffler, the 4th youngest golfer to win multiple green jackets, winning his second title in just 5 starts at Augusta. You can find much more at Masters.com. Finally, in sports, the NBA regular season came to a close Sunday. The play-in tournament set to begin Tuesday night in the Western Conference. To start the playoffs, the number 7 seed Pelicans will host the number 8 Lakers 6:30, followed by the 10 seed Warriors against the 9 seed Kings at 9 o'clock. Eastern Conference play-in games start on Wednesday. 7 seeded 76ers hosting the number 8 Heat, followed by the 10 seeded Hawks with the 9 seeded Bulls in Chicago. Number 1 seeds are the Celtics in the East, the Thunder in the West. The full schedule for the play-in tournament and the playoff bracket can be found at NBA.com. That's a look at sports on your sports leader in North Central Kansas, Katy Country 94 and Z96.3 The Lake. Sportscast is brought to you by Zachry's Ace Hardware in Beloit. I'm Dusty Donis.